Welcome to Ignyte and Nasdaq session on a journey of low-code digital transformation. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Jason Stanis. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Ignyte Group, and I'm joined by two of my colleagues, Ms. Kristen Gary, who is a project manager on our engagement at Nasdaq, as well as our valued client, Ms. Catherine Gisty. Catherine, would you like to introduce what we're going to chat about today?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jason. Today, we're going to start by talking about Nasdaq's journey with the power of low code, leveraging the Appian solution. We're going to move into our experiences and some lessons learned. And then we're going to talk through our partnership as Nasdaq brought in the Ignyte group to really derive more business value by increasing stakeholder engagement and formalizing our Appian program. After that, we're going to see some of the solutions that we've created with a demo that Kristen is going to provide. And then we'll come back to talking a little bit about what's next for Nasdaq in the Appian space.
That's great. And I think a lot of the audience, they might have seen some of the corporate level perspective when they tuned into Matt and Adina's session earlier. But what were you and your teams hoping to achieve specifically with Appian?
Well, within the index business, we know we're growing so rapidly. So we had confidence in the investment we were making with Appian because we knew with a low-code solution, we would get a flexible and scalable, secure platform to work with. So we were really hoping that these operational efficiencies would come about through automating the workflows and that would support us as we interact in this regulatory environment.
That's great. And what was the experience like when you guys first got started?
Well, we first got started on our own, really. And it wasn't too hard to get things up and running. I mean, Appian provides the training and support and documentation to allow businesses to kind of get up and running quickly. So we were able to do some development on some key processes and automated workflow that got us moving. But as we did that, we really gained some traction and realized how much more we want to do. And we knew that not only we want to do more, but these processes start to interact, right? And so we need to thread those together in order to support the end-to-end of our index lifecycle.
What did you guys do to help address that?
Well, knowing that we wanted to do a little bit more and something bigger, we actually took a pause, stepped back, and thought through our approach. We knew we wanted to combine the low-code solution with an agile delivery that had proven successful for us in the past, and program management. So continuing to use that test and learn approach as we had been, but applying some strategic thinking and planning to thread it all together. So that's why we brought in a partner. We knew a partner could help us increase stakeholder engagement, formalize a technology program around Appian, help us focus from a strategic lens, and also continue to get the rapid delivery of the business value from that. And so that's when we engaged with the Ignyte group and partnered with you and Kristen and the team. So I would say, Kristen and Jason, can I ask you a question about what do you think are the keys to the success of partnering with Nasdaq and helping us achieve our goals?
Oh, absolutely. And thank you, Catherine. I think for one, the key for us is to, just bring ourselves and bring our collaborative and consultative approach where we're really trying to help you solve problems together. And we never sit back and say, you need to tell us your requirements to do something, right? We're there to help you solve problems at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a big part of that was from the beginning, we really tried to just know and learn the business as much as we could and understand just kind of the overall objectives of the modernization that you all were working toward at Nasdaq. So that really allowed us to work hand in hand and make sure that everyone was part of the solution throughout the whole creation. So we could really iterate quick and come up with some fast solutions in Appian.
I'd add one more thing, and that's, I think we have done a good job of making sure that the user's experience is absolutely prime here. as well as really trying to bring a process-oriented approach to everything we're doing, whether it's your business process or the index life cycle, et cetera. I think that's really made an impact.
I completely agree. I think that the approach that Ignyte Group brings to the table is really user experience focused. And that is an area that we needed to hone in on, and gaining more trust from our stakeholders around the true benefit and realizing the power of Appian and the solution and what we could do with it, and much bigger than what we had already done. So it enabled me to be a better product owner of Appian, to manage the program more efficiently. And I think the solution that we've all come up with is really powerful to laying a foundation for our future growth and our future use of Appian. You've helped us put together a record-centric data model inside of this application that we can continue to build additional processes off of and get digital modernization out of. So we're excited about that. I think one of the key things about this session is that we get to see some of those powerful solutions at play, as Kristen is going to take us through a demo of some of the key things that we've pulled together.
Thanks for that introduction, Catherine. So now we can jump back right into our demo. So we are really excited to see this application moving into production and really starting to streamline the index management team's business processes. But being that there's a lot of corporate sensitive information kind of woven throughout the application, we've opted to spend our demo today really just highlighting this embedded support landing page that we've created. So as we're designing an application, our team really tries to frequently take a step back and ensure we're looking at the full picture. It's easy to get distracted by technical details and granular requirement gathering or granular requirements, but we really try to bring the focus back to the user, make the user front and center. So this landing page is an effort to make that experience for those brand new users comfortable and maybe more important, exciting. We want them to be excited to get into the application and start learning how to move around. So this landing page was kind of our way to embed that support into their UAT experience. So this screen that we first land on really begins with opening up an introduction to the modules that we have in this application. So we have some key parameters here up top and some links that'll take us there. But the users or participants of UAT had really only started to begin using this application during that first UAT session. So we wanted to take a step back and really rethink how we can make this introduction into the application just a little more comfortable for them. So coming down the page on the left-hand side is where we have our sprint demos. So after every development iteration, we shared a demo presentation with the stakeholders, and we decided to include that here on this page. So they can click through and see the different demos from previous development sprints. And these demos just really offer a refresh for the users on how to use the application. Sometimes it just takes watching or listening to these demos one more time just to feel a little bit more acquainted with the application. So as we move over on this right-hand side, another major component we've added to this page is an area to track and monitor frequently asked questions. So we can expand these, and we've included some links in here, but these are derived from our feedback sessions and office hours during UAT. So this is an area that we thought we could really give personalized support for this specific team. So this is just the area that we've decided to share that route of communication with the users. And then under those frequently asked questions are where we've decided to put the quick actions for this page. So this section would probably evolve as this application extends, but we've enabled the users at this point to go ahead and upload a large reference data set. So this just makes those workflows, the digital workflows that we designed, a little bit more powerful and realistic to how they might behave in the production environment. So this is just using an Appian form and a simple Appian process model to allow the user to upload these large data sets and just trying to make that migration data process as simple as possible for the users.
Kristen, if I might interrupt, this is one part of the approach that Ignyte took that I think really helps us be successful in gaining the kind of adoption of Appian with our stakeholders. And because we're using Appian itself to take them through these processes that we have to go through as a part of any deployment and delivery of new software. And so they're getting more comfortable with just the look and feel and how it is to interact in the application. So we really like this approach.
Yeah, we really thought that was important to make sure that that transition for them moving into the application was comfortable and like I mentioned, exciting, and that they're looking forward to getting in here and using the tool. So all of the components that we've covered so far are geared toward helping the users navigate around the application as a whole and through the workflows, but we knew we could offer a little bit more guidance in terms of the actual testing itself and facilitating that testing for the UAT participants. So we've stored some more information up here in this billboard where we'll look next. So this next tab is where users would probably come to if they're just starting UAT. So we kicked off our UAT with a discussion with all of the stakeholders, and we added that presentation here so they can easily download it for future reference, or if there were any team members who weren't able to make that meeting. We also have some of our testing scenarios here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and open up this PowerPoint. So this is our UAT kickoff presentation. And as part of our UAT structure, we presented this agenda that included some proctored testing scenarios, some office hours that were more of an open forum, with plenty of time still to do some freestyle testing. We wanted to make sure that they had ample time to click through the application and make sure it worked for them and their team outside of our more prescriptive testing scenarios. So coming back into our application, the next tab we're going to jump into is this upcoming events. So this is where we can see some of these UAT activities we're displaying in here. A consideration that our team often discusses is accessibility. So we really want to ease any work we can from the user. And in this particular situation, we're talking about easing the work it takes to get to a meeting. So what meeting tool is this team using? If I'm not able to make these office hours, is there an additional session? So in addition to sending out just typical calendar invites for these UAT activities, we also wanted to include them in a meeting list here. So in this meeting list, they can quickly access the Teams meeting, and moving back into the application and checking out that list again, we can also give them just an overall scope of the UAT activities coming up. So this Join Now link, where we were able to jump into Microsoft Teams right away, is an integration with Microsoft 365 that we have been able to implement in a few recent solutions. We were excited to be able to put it in here, but that just makes that transition from our application to Microsoft Teams just that more seamless. So once we tried to accommodate all of the steps that the participants would be walking through for UAT, our last embedded support that we wanted to offer them was a direct message to us, the design team. The index management team has been incredibly supportive and collaborative and engaging. So we wanted to make sure we showed up with the same level of engagement, especially as they're just learning how to use the application. So this action allows them to easily offer feedback and make sure that they just feel welcome in the entire creation process of this solution. We understand that adopting a brand new application is no small deal. We wanted to be compassionate about that and strategic in how we were trying to get the project running. So it's really important to us that the team and the end users want to use this application. So this landing page is a working effort to continue to help Nasdaq leverage the low code and quick design of Appian while still keeping that top priority in enhancing the business workflows of the stakeholders and, again, keeping those end users at the front and center.
Wow, Kristen, thank you so much for this demo. We really appreciate it. Catherine, as you've seen, we're about to hear it go live. What do you think has been the biggest impact so far of the solutions we've been able to deliver with you all?
Well, I would say the key impact is that you're helping us put together a strong foundation that we can build on. We're really going to have the ability to flex and change quickly. Again, the index business continues to grow so rapidly. And so this solution allows us to gain those operational improvements that should then allow our people to focus on high value tasks and things, and just focus on those things, and let the system really enable us to move more efficiently, more effectively. And the other key thing is that we've just really increased the stakeholder interest in the groups, and we can't keep the backlog, it just keeps coming at us, right? It's like a avalanche of interest. So we have a lot of work to do ahead of us.
Oh, that's great. And, speaking of those stakeholder requests, would you like to share what's coming up next for everyone here?
There's a lot to pick from, right? So our focus is going to be to prioritize those higher value processes and, get all of the stakeholders together in a true governance kind of approach to make sure that we are prioritizing our work appropriately. But we do have in the near term some data integrations that we're really excited about that will really empower the tool to be more effective for everybody. And also looking at how can automation support us in our index launches as new indexes come out in the future, or supporting our governance teams. So there's a lot of opportunity, and the excitement continues to grow. And so I have a challenge as a program manager to attempt to scale the program itself and the work that we're doing and continue that sustainability.
We are really thrilled to be there with you on that journey. And thanks everyone here who was able to join us virtually for this session. And, obviously they can check out the keynote with Adina and come see our office hours online, as well as our event sponsor page. And, just thank everyone again for their time and attention today.